Hello and welcome to VA Spotlight, a series about the best voice actors and actresses the anime industry has to offer. To start the series, today we will take a look at Marina Inoue's Sodachi Oikura from Owarimonogatari.
おかげさまずっと学校に来ていなかった私がお前に何をしたっていうのよ。
いや、それは
まあ、荒木ならどこの大学でも行けるんでしょうね。その気になれば。
Owari is considered by many to be the best Monogatari installment, and much of that is due to Sodachi's character. While the way the character was written deserves praise, just as much, if not more, should be given to the brilliant performance Marina delivers. Inoue's rise to fame began in 2004 when she won a national contest to star in an OVA series entitled Cossette no Shoujo, where she played Cossette Lagann, a beautiful young and mysterious woman. Winning a national contest with over 2,000 people participating made it clear Marina's voice was special. Even though she didn't have a lot of technique nailed at that point, it was already evident that she had untapped potential and a high promise for talent in the voice acting industry.
願いを叶えてあげる。エイリがしてほしいこと何でもしてあげる。言ってみて。
絵を、君の絵を描きたい。誰にも邪魔されずに。
喜んで。
Despite not being a particularly demanding character, acting as Cossette not only opened the voice acting doors for Marina, but it also introduced her to director Shimbo Akiyuki, who would later in that year join Studio Shaft. Marina became well known and entered the public eye in 2007, where she landed several important roles, like Yoko from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, possibly her most famous work to this day. Yoko allowed Marina to show her improvement as an actress, especially in a few key dramatic moments the show demanded. Also in 2007, she starred in Shaft's Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei as Chiri Kitsu, a mentally unstable high schooler with a crush on her teacher. Here, Inoue managed to display her amazing comedic timing, making a great pair with fellow voice actor Kamiya Hiroshi, and once again working with Shimbo.
受け取り人は誰なの？
もちろんマリアじゃないよ。
じゃあ問題なし。
そこはそうなんですか。
間違ってる。世の中間違ってる。こうなったら私が世の中の全てを身の丈に合わせてあげる。そう、所詮人間、起きて半畳、寝て一畳。はみ出したな。一畳からはみ出すな。
Chiri is, to this day, one of Marina's best roles, and it's impressive to see how she evolves alongside the character in the long-running series. After this, Marina Inoue continued to land important roles in the industry, oftentimes showcasing her talent as a star voice actress for several characters. Examples include Laura Bodewig in Infinite Stratos, Yozora Mikazuki in Haganai, and Tohka Yatogami in Date Live. All this led up to 2015, where she was finally introduced into Shaft's magnum opus, the Monogatari series. Now, before we go any further, let's take a few moments to consider what really defines great voice acting. It may seem trivial, but having such definitions clear will surely help in evaluating Marina's and any of the future subjects' performances. As the name suggests, voice acting is nothing more than regular acting done through the voice. The parameters of what make acting or voice acting good are the same, but what differentiates them are the tools at the disposal of the actor. While a VA only has his or her voice, a regular actor has their entire body to act through the visual methods. But what exactly are those parameters? Frankly, it's not an easy question to answer, and the answer changes from person to person depending on what they value most out of voice acting. However, one thing does tend to come up a lot, and can usually be defined as the main factor in determining one's acting skill, and that is how natural the voice actor sounds. Take for example the following statement by famous Hollywood director Ted Kotcheff regarding what he deems important in an actor or actress. The worst curse in a film is when you see the actor acting, you see the machinery working. It's a killer. A great performance has the right emotional temperature. It isn't obvious. Delivering lines naturally, giving life to the character itself, is what makes an actor good and allows the audience to be immersed into the character and the world they live in. especially in emotionally heavy scenes. Managing to convey a wide array of emotions to the public through the delivery of a few lines is what sets apart great actors, and this is what sets apart Marina Inoue. Sodachi Oikura can practically be described as having an array of emotions: anger, fear, jealousy, resentment, regret, the list goes on. A girl who was deeply scarred from a very young age, she held these negative feelings inside of herself for several years before finally being given the chance to unleash those feelings against the target of her hatred, Aragi Koyomi. Marina had an extremely complicated task at hand, portraying all those emotions with subtlety and apparent calm in a few scenes, letting just a tiny amount of sarcasm and anger seep through, and in other scenes, going absolutely all out in one big pot of shouting and screaming. The most obvious example for that would be her introduction in episode 3. The entire scene is masterfully executed by Marina. In the initial meeting and conflict with Aragi, she maintains the masquerade for as long as Sodachi's anger can be contained.
覚えているわ。もちろん。私がお前のことを忘れるはずがないじゃない。荒木。
覚えていてくれて嬉しいよ。出席番号2番だった荒木は嬉しいよ。
元気そうね、私と違って。ほんと羨ましいわ。私が家で引きこもってる間に勉強したり大学目指したり彼女を作ったり。荒木は順風満帆な人生ね。
She then gradually loses controls over her emotions before finally exploding and clashing with Sensei.
意味なんてないわよ。意味なんて嫌いだもの。何もかも嫌いだもの。嫌いと嫌いは嫌いだ、嫌いだ、嫌いだ、嫌いだ、嫌いは嫌いよ、嫌い。嫌い、嫌い、嫌い、嫌い、嫌い。触るなって言ったのに。
Inoue balances the scene with precision, releasing the character's emotions with flawless timing. From her amazing chemistry with Kamiya Hiroshi to her complex and yet naturally delivered lines, Marina Inoue's Sodachi Oikura was truly a one-of-a-kind work. Even her sweet singing voice gives life to a few of the better Monogatari openings. With a limited screen time in a show that was already famous for its voice acting performances, she's managed to captivate the viewer, commanding attention to her newly introduced character. The only question that remains is why she wasn't casted earlier in the series. We can only speculate on the matter. Scheduling issues are a possibility for sure, but I like to imagine that it was a calculated decision. Shimbo and the staff at Shaft knew who they wanted playing Oikura all along, and they made sure she got the role when the time finally came. This is of course just a theory, but certainly a plausible one given Marina's prior history with Shaft. So how do you feel about Sodachi? Do you think Marina has a better role? What other voice actor or actress would you like to see featured next in this series? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have a great day. You've been listening to